All right, we are streaming. We're done with week 10. Crazy crazy stuff going on in the NFL. I don't know if anyone agrees, and feel free to leave a comment. I don't want to discredit any of the bad teams that are winning games, but I do wonder, because we've seen this in years past, where the beginning of the year is kind of like preseason, and some of the teams that are good kind of use it as their preseason. Do you think with one extra game this time of year, and we've always seen this time of year gets wacky, we see some upsets, our teams kind of taking it back a little bit, playing for the long term? Are you really worried about the Bucks? I'm not. I'm not. Look at last year. Same deal. Pass defense was pretty bad. If you go back and look at the Bucks last year, their defense as a whole, not just against the run, but against the pass, they were a bad defense. They get blown out by the Saints. Was it a 42-0? They had some bad losses. And then what happened when the playoffs came? Their defense became Super Bowl bound. So I am not worried at all. I'm not. Yep, this is my Facebook page. So you just see everything I do. Let's start with my season-long team. I want to start there first, the Hood Rats. I am kicking ass this year. This is an auction league. I was predicted in my auction league. This is pretty cool what ESPN does. 10th, and now I'm predicted to go first. I think a lot of you who are winning, whether it be season long with a draft or with an auction, was the Rams. I don't think the Rams were highly sought after, and I don't know if I can get, this is the draft recap. Oh yeah, look at this. So I used to be in this league and I rejoined it, so I took some team over, and I kept Kamara, which was last year he was 59, so you had to pay $5 to keep him. So I kept Kamara, and I kept Daryl Henderson. So Daryl Henderson was $2, and so I made it, I figured for $71 here, I'm getting two running backs that I think are going to get a lot of carries. But I think if you look, this is great, if you look at the auction league and you can see what the Rams costs this year. If we have any comments, I'll get them. I mean, look at, I got Higbee for $9, and the 49ers. Look what I paid for Deebo Samuel, $8. You look at the core of my team. I mean, Kamara, Henderson. I paid a lot for Carson, but look at Prescott, Deontay Johnson. I dropped him. He's on IR. $4, $9, $2, $8. Dropped him. Sermon I paid up. Didn't work. 49ers, which I had dropped. But let's see what other Rams. I bet Matthew Stafford was $1. But a lot of the Rams weren't, and even the 49ers. But people did not believe in the Rams, and I think because they didn't, Cup $23. That's, and this is a good team. This is the other team that's 8-2. Look at Allen for 8, paid up for Cook, Mixon, Cup, Chase. I mean, geez, if Thomas was playing, this is a really good draft. I want to find Stafford. Well, the heck with that. All right, so in my team last week, I scored 130 points. I had the second most points of the week. This was my play of the week. The easiest play of the week. And I want to try to get this through people's heads with fantasy. I think we're getting too into fantasy in terms of it being just fantasy with numbers, and we're not using reality. You can mix fantasy with reality. Why did I think this was going to happen? Because think about this. He was hurt for 2 weeks, crapped the bed against Denver. That should never, a team like Dallas, with the players they have, this game should not have worried you. Did you really think they were going to struggle? I didn't, and he still had a lot of points. But this was a lock for me. A lock. And I don't think Prescott, we'll get to my DraftKings. I don't know how low owned he was in tournaments, but he shouldn't have been. Daryl Williams, I loved. You know, in season long is different. I mean, the only plays that I had a debate were playing Minnesota's D over the Saints, which the Vikings were better, and Ertz and Higbee. But in the end, I went with Higbee because the backup quarterback. So that was it. For my DraftKings, Week 10, I put in $20, and I got 22 out. An overrule of a catch by Keenan Allen cost me about $20. And whatchamacallit? Dearness Johnson. Well, Dearness Johnson was so high on 90%. This is out of the 10 teams. And listen, I've been hearing everyone complain about the duplicate lineups. And I say, well, play those 10 teams. There's the train right there. Same lineups. So you can't avoid them. But I still cash in this. I'll play against the trains. The trains are mean same. I don't care. Because these guys are just playing optimal lineups. And, no, good for them. This is a pretty good lineup. I like to know that at the end of the day I built my lineup. I don't think these lineups aren't built. These are just optimal lineups that they're taking. So there's no thought process going into it. And then those won't work. So here's my process. This was an easy play. I paid up a bit. I don't like to pay up for quarterback. And, you know, maybe I shouldn't have. But I just thought Dak was going to be too good. I started with my running backs. We got some value. I faded Jonathan Taylor. That was a mistake. When Mason Rudolph was going to be the quarterback, I should have gotten out of that. That was just the mistake. So I should have audibled out of Harris. I shouldn't have played him. I got the volume, though. 32 touches. You know, a touchdown, and this is a smash play. So, I don't kill myself. 30%. There's some leverage in everybody paid down in cash games, which it worked out. I don't love Mark Ingram as a cash game play. Yeah, I just didn't. And even Mike Evans, but it worked out. So my strategy was, if I wasn't going to play Taylor, I wanted a piece of the Colts, and I took their defense and the receiver, which I hardly ever play two guys from the same team, but I just liked this opportunity. That worked out. So that's when I went. I wanted a piece of this game, and I got lucky with Conklin. Look at that. Keenan Allen, 50%. He gets the 9 for 100. That's 4 more points. I'm at 1, same. They would have had 4 more points too, but I would have had a 150. 146 is good. That's a good score for cash games. I'm happy with my process, and I'll take you right through it. Your lineup should always tell a story, even GPP. So I'm a Patriots fan, but I didn't care. He was the only running back active, and at 4,700, I had to play him, and look what he did. He smashed. I like the volume here with Big Ben out, and this didn't turn out great, but it could have. He got hurt, and he still had 7, 6, 11 touches, but 13 opportunities, and he got lifted. That could have really worked out for me at 10%. Look at these 3 at 10%. Smash to the Colts, smash with Conklin. He scores a touchdown, or even gets 6 more points without getting a touchdown. That's a pretty good. I would. Yeah. it's 6,900. I took it at home, so that was my process. And again, I wanted this game, so I wanted Pittman instead of, if I wasn't going to play Jonathan Taylor with that high implied, and then I wanted a piece of that Tampa game, and I took this piece of it, which a lot of people played the Brady, and I bet these lineups here had Brady. Yep, I haven't even checked these. Look at playing stacks and cash games, guys. You can't do it. I mean, this is a Brady, Evans, Fournette. That's a GPP lineup. No bring back. It's not a good lineup. Josh Allen. See, look at, you paid up a quarterback. Look at this. Paid up a quarterback, paid up a running back, and then the rest in look at, I kind of like this, and that. But then if you're going to do that, you got to pay down here. You can't do that. I mean, you can't have Allen, Taylor, and McCaffrey and then just go all cheapos. Not in a cash game. You don't need to do that. He goes 1,000 down, pays down for Prescott. A.J. Green with a backup quarterback. Beasley, I thought about it, but these are just home run hitters. All of these. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to help and critique for cash games. This isn't bad. Cook, Johnson, Ingram. They're going to get a lot of carries. But again, Adams and Evans, and then you're at 3,200 here. So, but in saying that, my GPP lineups just they just did not work. I'm struggling with GPPs. Let's see. This one cashed. This was the single entry. 23,000, 64.20. It pays. I finished. Oh, I didn't cash in this one. Why did it say it cashed? I guess I'm losing my. Oh, that's from the 9th. Okay, so yeah, I didn't cash in any of my. I'll just show the results of my 3 max. Show only mine because it's my show. This is a single entry, small tournament. Went with an Allen, Diggs, Sanders. Brought it back with Moore, who scored. Did I have a first and secondary stack? No. Jones. Titans defense. Cooper. Arnold. It just didn't work. Winning lineup. 186. Allen to Diggs. No bring back. No secondary game stack. Worked out. He was right on a lot of things. Even had a snowflake. Didn't have to hit on anyone at 186. So good stuff there. That's my DK look. FanDuel. Oh, we got a free voucher. I used the voucher for hockey. I signed up for Fantasy Pros, and by the way, with Fantasy Pros, look at that FanDuel points. They put these tournaments out, and we'll see. Okay. Fantasy Pros correspondent free play contest, but you get FanDuel points. Look at this. I mean, that's not a high score. For the second time, tied for 12,000, so I'll split that. It's a $5 value. Hey, I'll take it. So, process on this. Put in 16 of my cash games, won 26. Cashed in one tournament. I play the small squibs and one large one. We'll start with the GPP. This is my best GPP and ended up being my best lineup. 141.94 was 38th in this. 22 points off first place. You can see we had the same. I went with Allen, to Diggs and Sanders. It's tough. Try to be right about a couple things than the whole thing, which means like when you double stack and you bring it back, that's 4 players, so that's 1. And then you do a secondary game stack, Taylor and Arnold, that's 2. And then 3, 4, 5, write about 5 things instead of write about, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this was my process. I liked Josh Allen because on FanDuel, you get the quarterbacks are worth paying up for at times. So I just figured he was going to have a good game, and he threw 2 touchdowns, and Matt Breida caught the other one, not Sanders. I thought Sanders would be a bounce back, and I knew he'd be at low ownership. You want to stay under 130 cumed in tournaments. So I'm at, in terms of total, you add up your percentage. So 34, 65, 77, 80, 87, 103, 110, 114. So that was the Allen, Diggs, Sanders, bringing it back with more. And, this could have worked out. If Sanders scores there, that's not looking bad. And then I went with a secondary game stack of Taylor and Dan Arnold, which I didn't think was bad. For 5,100. Need a little more. Got more points at tight end than the winning tight end. Taylor had 21. Obviously, Stevenson was a smash play. Now I'm a Patriots fan. I really love Stevenson. I was just worried with Bolden and Taylor in the mix, and I just didn't anticipate this many carries, and I thought this game would be lower scored, but look at that. But, again, a home favorite that's going to be under 3% owned, you should always play in GPPs. That's another tip. And then my one-offs were Ingram, who was popping in my, look at that, high ownership. He was popping in my optimizer. And then Chris Godwin, which I figured Tampa Bay would be more, but just didn't work out. And I took Philly's defense, got the low owned. I can't believe the Cowboys were this low owned. So I was close, 22 points off is not a lot, If I would have played this defense, it's 8, gotten a little more, It's about 8 more points, a couple touchdowns, but I'll take that. I was happy. Now, my cash game construction, you see I play a lot of 50-50s. I play a lot of small contests. I love this 12-player league. I created this. You can create contests. It pays 5 of 12. And I was second in that dollar, So my cash game, Dilio. Am I being cool? Here's what I did with my construction. I played this guy a lot. Let's see what he did. He had a 119, not bad. So, started with the running backs. Like James Conner more in FanDuel because he's not a guy that catches a lot of passes. He saved me a touchdown, really, really saved the day on this. Let's go to more of a 50-50 because I'm interested to see. Now, I finished 50th in this, but wait till you see all the multiple lineups. This, I think there'll be a lot. Yeah, 135, 34, so 5 there. Wow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Jesus. 3, 4, 5. All those. That's 50th, but I had to beat all these multiple lineups. Friggin' joke. FanDuel, you guys need to set it where only so many multiple lineups are allowed. I don't know why you allow that. You're just going to have people not play your site. That's what it's going to force in the end. I know you don't care because you're getting the money, but it's freaking annoying. So, number one, cash game. in this cash game. Let's see. It was a stack. I don't stack in cash games. I don't believe in it. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. It's just that it's riskier to do that. You want to play just one player from a team. I don't play more than one. Went with Dak. I thought it was easy. I thought at 8,100, it's 600 cheaper. He was a better play. Went with Johnson, Harris, like I said, Connor, better on FanDuel. And then I wanted a piece of that Charger game. Didn't have Minnesota in that. Didn't play Conklin. Conklin was probably more of a FanDuel play because it's more of a touchdown site since you get half-point PPR. Went with Arnold and played Evans again because I figured touchdown. He was 76% owned. Wow. Pittman, Allen. Harris was low owned. Look at Ernest Johnson, 92%. Jets defense, 1%. Cowboys, 1%. I can't believe that. That is insane. One person in this 100 person had them. That's crazy. Can you guys hear me? Yep. Did awful with my. This is a big tournament. Herbert, Eckler, Mike Williams. Look at Mike Williams' ownership. Jeez. Brought it back with Dalvin Cook, who was highly. I wouldn't have played him. I thought this was going to be like 2.1, not 21. O.J. Howard did this. Jones and Pittman didn't work, and Jets defense. So that really wasn't a great lineup. You know, this could have been better if Brady was better. Look at this. Brady to Evans to Howard with the bring back of McLaurin. Of course, 29 points. He doesn't score. Ingram, Connor, Lockett, and Adams did not work out. I mean, you think about it. In the Patriots defense, I mean, think about this with Ingram. This is a pretty good lineup, even though it didn't do well. But if you look at it, you know, Brady can throw 4 to 5 touchdowns. If he has a Brady game, Evans, Howard certainly could have been part of that. And if there was more points, McLaurin probably has a better game. Then with going with these two guys, that worked out. Now, that's not bad for the costs. I mean, Ingram is a better value. But then getting Adams and Lockett in, I had games, you know, Lockett at 6.9%. What else you got? Okay. I'm playing my own music transitions. This lineup sucked balls too. And look at, you know, it's amazing. I got a Rodgers stack with Adams, Aaron Jones, came back with Metcalf. I got Johnson and Ingram to open things up for an A.J. Brown. Metcalf, I mean, just did not work out. What else you got? Thought I had one more. No, that was it. That was my... So far I won $2 on DraftKings. Here I won $31, put in $21.11, so I'm up 13. $10, 1.8 on SuperDrafts. $9, but I did a tournament, which I didn't cash. This was my cash game, which I succeeded. You know, got a $4.50 there and a $1 buy, $3 on a $1 buy-in. Well, with Prescott, this is a multiplier, no salary cap, so you get whatever the multiplier, 1.55 times the fantasy points. I love this. So you can play the good players don't have a high multiplier. You can still play them. In cash games, I go safer. As you see, Prescott, Harris, A.J. Brown, Adams, not high multipliers, but Dan Arnold. And, you see even in this, Michael Carter was a good play. So that was that. Let's see. Player props on Thrive. Do these free contests every week. I don't know why you guys don't sign up for this. The Jaguars and Chargers are sponsors, and they offer free contests every week. And I just keep... This week I didn't do well. $2.83, but I put in nothing. And usually each week I get $2 from each. Last night I got $4 off a $2 buy-in. And it's pretty simple. You just pick the over-unders from the Chargers and the over-unders from... You pick 10, I think they give you 20. And it's free. That's it. Do it. Freaking do it. All right? Good luck to everybody. We'll be back with more videos. Let's talk DFS.